Namaste and hello everyone and welcome to my channel Indian Olympics. And today we shall discuss about one of our favorite sports in India, which is wrestling. And I have me with today is Mr. Nitin Sankar, who is by profession managing director of a consultancy firm. Also, IIT IIM by education, but most importantly, he is a sports enthusiast by heart. So I welcome Mr. Nitin and welcome to the show. Thank you, Nitin.
Thank
So
you so
can you
much,
please?
Siddharth. Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. We have been in touch for, I think, at least the last 6 years on Totally Olympics. So I keep seeing your name, and I'm sure you keep seeing mine. So
Yes.
it's been a real pleasure to be with you today, Siddharth.
So all the viewers, I'll let you know what is Total Olympics. So Total Olympics is a kind of a blog where all Olympic sports enthusiasts from all over the world, they give updates, news, and their own opinions on various Olympic events sport-wise. And there is a quite a healthy Indian community as well. So I request the viewers to please visit Total Olympics. You will get all the updates, even about Indian athletes. I'll put the link in the description. So let's start, Nathan. Can you please give a short introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so Siddharth, I have, as you said, education-wise, I'm an engineer and an MBA from IIM. But last 20 odd years, I think 90, I would say 2000 onwards, to be fair, I've been following Olympic sports very, very closely. From a time when India was nowhere in the Olympic games, and now where we have quite a healthy participation. I've seen the growth. It's been a wonderful journey, and
Okay.
we have shared the journey in some time, in the comments, everything. So yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here.
Okay. So, Nathan, you have a keen eye on wrestling. So, wrestling is one of our sports which has given multiple medals, not even in the present. That is the even in the past as well. I think it was 1952 Olympics, Helsinki, where we used to win just hockey medals, gold medals, but we also had a bronze at that time in wrestling. Yes. So, can you please give us a brief history about Indian wrestling?
So first, let me first say that of all the Olympic sports that I follow, wrestling is extremely exciting. Watching a
Yes.
wrestling match, I think, is probably the ultimate Olympic sport for power, for skill. It's something amazing, and I've always loved it. Now, just to go quickly to the history of the sport, so I hope you can see that. So if I look at India as an Olympic, as a wrestling nation, please understand we have a huge history of wrestling. I mean, if you go back into
Mm.
Mahabharata, Ramayana, you will hear tales of wrestling happening. In those days, we used to call it Malayud.
Okay.
The greatest Malayud wrestlers were people like Bhim, and you would hear about his famous bout with Jarasandha, Krishna, etc., were considered great wrestlers. Of course, in somewhere in the 1800s, 1700s or so, you would see a lot of growth of Pehlwani happening. I mean, that was with the Mughals, but the mixture of the Iranian uh, traditions and the Indian tradition started, and Pehlwani became the big thing. Um, yeah, to come into Olympics, I think it started in 1896. At the very first Olympic Games, we had wrestling.
Yes. So as Nitin mentioned, we have Olympics we have wrestling in the Olympics. So now I'll just go through a brief discussion as to how wrestling is played in the Olympics. So basically, even though there are many styles in wrestling, in Olympics there are only two main styles, which is freestyle and Greco-Roman. And both of them are only for men, and women only play freestyle. And each so we have three main types of wrestling, which is men's freestyle, men's Greco-Roman, and women's freestyle. Out out of these each type, we each of them have six weight classes. So we have 18 events in total, and in each event there are 16 participants who can qualify. So how this qualification works is that five of them qualify from the 2023 World Championships. Then we have two each from various continents, which is Africa and Oceania, then Asia, then Europe, and then Pan America. And lastly, we have the three from the last final qualification tournament. As of recording, we all the other tournaments have been completed except the final qualification tournament, which will be happening around next week. So Nitin, can you please explain what is difference between freestyle and Greco-Roman?
Okay, so just to kind of keep the historical context in mind, when wrestling started in the Olympics in 1896, it was pure Greco-Roman first. Freestyle came in only in 1904, and women's style actually was just a recent innovation that we have started having women wrestling only in 2004. So there was a big gap when wrestling was only men. Now, looking at the differences between the two major styles, see, Greco-Roman, basically, if you see the style, it's very much focuses on upper body strength. You cannot use your legs. You cannot attack the legs and you cannot use the legs for attacking. So neither can you attack the legs nor can you use. So it's all on the upper body. And typically the guys in Greco-Roman who do well have tremendous power, upper body power, and there is not that much of movement. What in India we would call dav page is not so much there in Greco-Roman. It's a lot of power, and especially if you can lift the guy and throw him, that's the most spectacular move. Otherwise, you'll see Greco-Roman wrestling happen for a long time, and you guys are just pushing in the center, and eventually somebody will have a push out where you get just 1 point in the push out. So that's the style which is Greco-Roman. Indians traditionally don't do well in that style. We are into freestyle, which is what we traditionally do in the mud wrestling in the akadas, which is very much the dav page style, where you attack the legs. You will see the wrestlers not stand very erect. They kind of crouch a lot in the freestyle, and you would see sudden movements of leg attack. And that's the beauty of skill of freestyle. It's such a fascinating, fast-moving game, especially when you have skillful wrestlers doing it. So that's the main difference. And what we see mostly, which we will see in our movies and all, will be the freestyle wrestling.
Yes, so perhaps everyone can relate with the movie Dangal by Amir Khan, and which showed a true story, but with some masala. Obviously, uh, I mean that what it showed, it doesn't happen so dramatic like that. And obviously, we can tell you that Indian coaches are good. So I mean, they are not. We will not demean them because they have brought us medals. So it had a bit of masala. So, but yeah, so if we can relate to wrestling, we can obviously relate to the movie Dangal. Yeah, so we'll go on next.
Yeah, so let's look at the history part of it, I guess.
Yes.
And when we're getting into the history, actually, if we look at it, Siddharth, I think it is one of the few sports where we have traditionally done fairly well. Unlike, I think if you see our history in Olympic sports, we never had very good sportsmen in most of the sports, except maybe athletics, where very famously we've had a few Milkha Singh and PT Usha doing well. But if you look at wrestling, that's a photo, by the way, of KD Jadhav, who is the only medal wrestler, individual medal wrestler, literally up to 2000. I mean, Leander
Yes.
Pace 96. He won a wrestling medal for us in 1952, a bronze medal in freestyle. But if you see this, right from 1920, we have had a lot of wrestlers coming in with good numbers. And actually, if you actually see, we do talk about people who came fourth, etc., in athletics, but our wrestlers have actually done well. We have had a lot of wrestlers right from 1920 when Ranveer Shendis came fourth, and you can see a lot of fourths, especially wrestlers like Jagmandir, Rajinder Singh, Mahavir Singh were very good wrestlers also. At their age and their time, they were considered in the top 10 wrestlers very easily. So we've had good wrestlers continuously, but it is only after these two gentlemen you see there, I think very famous pair. Of course, you know that Sunil and Yogeshwar, who came in on the century. In fact, they won titles respective 1999 and Yogeshwar 19 and Sushil in 2001 get a title. They, I think, have been brought out in wrestling into the world. So, as I was saying, this guy was a legend. I think from 2008, that was the first medal, Sushil's bronze. Then, of course, both of them won medals in 2012.
Yes.
Then, of course, we've had Sakshi in 2016 and 2020. We've had the great Bajrang and Ravi both winning medals. I think outstanding if you
Deepak
look
Punia
at
was
it.
fourth. Fifth.
Yeah.
Deepak. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have had like a very good tradition. In fact, it's the only sport which has given us consistently medals for 4
Mm.
Olympics. So this has been the history. I just wanted Siddharth just to point out Indian wrestling is really doing well. We don't see it so much at the senior level. Just go to the junior level for a minute, because juniors is for me always where I love to watch this junior wrestling. 2014, we were never in the top four. 2018, for the first time, we came in the top four in the boys wrestling.
Okay.
2021, we came third in girls and fifth in boys. And look at 2023. For the first time, we won the world team title in the. So that was a big moment for me, at least, who has been following this for a long time. And third in boys. For me, juniors is important, right? From the time of Sushil and Yogeshwar, the wrestlers who do well in juniors are the seasoned wrestlers who do well in the seniors. Not
Yeah.
all juniors do well in seniors, but most of the seniors are good junior wrestlers who have won titles. So today, and if I look at the same thing just look at the 2023. 2023 is the transition point, like when the juniors transition to the seniors. That's the critical point. You can see here, 2017 we won 2 silvers. By the way, one of the silvers was Bajrang.
Yeah.
2018 we won 1 silver, which was Ravi. And after that, we have been doing fairly well. And the recent 2023, you can see an amazing number of medals. We have won 6 bronze, 2 silver, and 1 gold. 1 gold, incidentally, is Ritika, who is
Okay.
on our team currently. So
Okay.
we are doing very well at the junior and even at the under 23 level. My contention is, Siddharth, I think wrestling is a sport for India's future. We are really doing well at the junior level. It's only a matter of time when we do well at the senior level, but maybe not this Olympics.
Yes. So coming to the immediate future, which is just few months away, 3 months away, is the Olympics, 2024 Olympics, to be held in Paris. As I said, the qualification started in 2023 World Championships, and and as many of you were aware that there was quite a situation happening with Indian wrestling at that particular time with respect to who will lead the federation. Uh, I will not go into the details of it because it will lead to too much partisan behavior or partisan comments on our part. We'll only comment on how this has affected Indian wrestling and how much it has affected the preparation, the entire the morale, the mindset going, and the training it has affected. So how do you rate the performance of the Indian wrestlers in the two competitions they could qualify for the Olympics? That was 2023 World Championships. Let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about the Asian qualification next.
Siddharth, for me, 2023 World Championship was really India was under the weather. I'll just show you one last slide with your permission, which just talks about how we have done in the World Championships. Uh, every World Championship, the last few World Championships, 2019, we actually had got 5 medals. 2019, which was just before Tokyo, out of which 4 were in the Olympic category, and we qualified 4 people for Tokyo 2020 through the World Championships. They were the Deepak Punia, Bajrang, Ravi, and Vinesh. Excellent wrestlers who did wonderfully for us in 2019. 2 of them went on to win the medals in Tokyo for us. Deepak came very close. Vinesh had a whatever problem, but overall a wonderful team performance in 2019. In fact, Rahul Avare, as you can see, also won a non-Olympic category medal. 2021, we had Sarita Moore, again non-Olympic category, Anshu Malik in an Olympic category winning a medal. 2022, again 2 medals, Vinesh and Bajrang. Now, 2023 was the height of all that controversy. A lot of our wrestlers were not, there was no camps happening.
Yes.
There was no training outside India. There was no people being sent for competitions outside. So our people were completely underprepared. You know that Vinesh and Bajrang did not participate because they were part of that whole process of protest.
Also, I think UWW had banned India at that time,
Yes, yes. They
and
had
we had suspended India. So we were not under the India flag. We were under the neutral flag.
UWW flag,
Yes.
yes. So I think, we were having a very underprepared team. Even Deepak Punia and Ravi Dahiya, I don't know for what reason, did not participate because for whatever reason, they were not there properly. Everybody was out of sorts. I think it was completely redeemed for me by young Antim Panghal, who was totally not expected to win. But I was so happy when she won. Otherwise, we would have entered, come back empty-handed. So in 53 kg category, she was the only medalist. She's a double, I mean, a gold and a silver medalist in the junior levels. Very, very, very talented player in the junior levels. She came out really fighting into the senior levels. She did not participate in the under 23s. So she came straight into the seniors and she has done wonders. I mean, there's no doubt she's probably the India's best bet for the future, if not for 2024 itself. Only one medal there.
Okay, so total disaster at 2023 World Championships. How do you see the Asian qualifiers, which happened just last month in April? How do you see that?
Okay, Asian qualifiers, I must say, um, uh, how do I put it? See, the first problem was the qualification itself. I mean, the trial itself was held under some controversial situation. There were two trials. Nobody was sure which was the which. Okay, leave that out. The team which came out, in my opinion, was not the best team. We had Sonam Malik badly injured during the competition. She was stretchered out during her bout. So we lost her, who's one of the best 62 kg wrestlers in the women's category. So the trial itself for me was not great. I was, in fact, very, very saddened to see Bajrang out of form so much that he was beaten badly. Ravi Dahiya, who's like, for me, one of the great wrestlers, was also beaten. So it was for me a very mixed team. Of course, they won the trial. So to be fair, the trial was held. Whoever won the trial would stay, which is fair. So the team which went there for me was a mixed lot. Um, then what happened was the male wrestlers, the freestyle wrestlers, which was the first day. Again, a problem happened when Deepak Punia's flight, along with Sandeep Kalkal flight, both of them could not make it. So we lost two out of our six wrestlers on before the bout started.
Yeah, so just let us just explain what the situation. So so this Asian qualification tournament was have to happen in Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek. So Bishkek is the capital of Kyrgyzstan, and Deepak Punia and Sanjeev were actually sent for training in Dagestan, which is in Russia. So Dagestan, you could say it's near Chechnya or near Azerbaijan. So it's quite a bit remote area, and you know, and rest of our Indian wrestlers were in India, so they went directly to Bishkek. Deepak Punia and Sanjeev were to come to Bishkek 2 days prior to the tournament, but via Dubai. Now, I mean, disaster. I mean, it's a natural calamity that Dubai experienced one of the most heaviest rains that time, and the whole airport was flooded. So, so there was no flights in and out of Dubai. And although the Wrestling Federation of India tried for a flight, I think it did happen in the end. But so they reached the 8 a.m. On the match day. So let's also explain to you viewers what happens on match day. So as you mentioned, there are various weight classes. So before the competition, what happens is there actually the wrestlers are being weighed in. Okay, and they have to be less than the weight class they're in. So, for example, Deepak Punia is in 86 kg weight class, so he has to be less than 86 kg. Now, any normal person, you would know that our weight varies 1 kg here and there throughout the day. Whatever we do, it's like drinking water, eating food, doing this and that. Keeping a lesser weight then let's say as 60 kg someone is not 60 kg all the time, he'll be 61 59 point something. So it is very difficult to keep a proper weight, and there is wrestlers have to do there's some exercises they have to do so that the weight is reduced. So at that particular time during the weigh-in they were not allowed. I think they just reached before the weigh-in and they were not allowed, so that's why they could not participate in the competition. So I think we need to give that context as well. Yeah, and because Deepak Punia and Sajid were both 2 days they had spent in the airport, uh, and they were without food, without proper water and all, and they were just, I mean, they stayed at the airport floor. I mean, the situation was not ideal at all, and even if they had participated, I don't know what result would have come. But yeah, so that what has happened. So yeah, let's discuss.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'll be honest. Deepak Punia had a very, very easy draw.
Yes.
I think it was like, I mean, when I saw the draw, I said, look, Deepak will make this cut and he'll become our first freestyle wrestler. But it was a tragic loss that he could not even participate. So let's hope for the best. But that was a big loss for us. But the women did very well, Siddharth. amazing. And first, Vinesh. Now, Vinesh was, a 53 kg. She has wrestled in 50 also, but primarily in the recent times in 53 kgs. Both her bronze medals in the World Championships were won in the 53 kgs. So suddenly to ask, and now, but Antim had already qualified in 53. So it was like a blocked category for her. So either she had to go to 57 or 50. I was reading some of the discussions. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so also to mention the viewers that in each weight class, there can only be one wrestler per country. So that's why Vinesh had to, because Antim Panghal had already qualified at 53 kg. So Vinesh had to either scale down to 50 or scale up to 57. So scaling down to 50 was much easier option for us. Yes.
So, in fact, I was reading about how difficult it was to scale down. They were saying that she was in a sauna and she was not sweating for whatever reason, and the coach was hitting her with sticks, literally birch branches to make her sweat. This is what I was reading in one of the discussions. Anyway, so she made it. Outstanding wrestler. If you ask me today, probably our best chance. She won smooth, virtually VSU. I mean, very, very dominant, not necessarily VSU. Only her first bout was a VSU, which a VSU, by the way, is a 10-point lead where it's virtual superiority and then the bout ends. So she kind of won very smoothly, very impressive. Anshu Malik also, excellent wrestler, 57. She's a world silver medalist in 22, I think. So she again won very, very well. Sorry, 21. She won very, very well. Then we had the surprise of the tournament, and the one which impressed me was Ritika in 76. Uh, Remember, she has never played in the senior category. Outstanding in juniors. She's been a junior medalist, then under 23 gold medalist. So that's a real high class wrestler. If anybody wins 123 world wrestling, is normally ready to take on the world. So she has won it, but when she came in and she won with such smoothness, I would say, all her bouts. So for Ritika in 76, we had three qualifiers. Ritika in 76, 57 we had Anshu, and 50 we had Vinesh. So totally four, because Antim had qualified in the World Championships. So four women we have qualified. But the tragedy, and I will, my heart will break if I don't see an Indian freestyle wrestler in the male category, because I mean, we have 1920s onwards, we've had people wrestling. It's going to be the biggest tragedy if we don't, because currently we are at zero. The Greco-Roman category, India has never been very good. Sunil Kumar is probably a decent wrestler. He's a bronze medalist in the Asian Games, but I doubt whether he'll make it.
Okay, so that was the past. Now let's talk about the future. I mean, the last qualification tournament left, which is just a week away at the time of recording. So, how do you see that tournament going? As you have mentioned earlier, that we'll have the same team as the Asian qualifiers because there's not much time for trials and all that. So, how do you see that particular tournament going? How much quotas can we win more?
For me, it's a big question mark, I'll be honest. See, what has happened also, Siddharth, I think the viewers should know that, Russia has kind of had a lot of problems because of the Ukraine conflict. A lot of their wrestlers have been banned, etc., and a lot of their wrestlers have gone to other countries. So and Russian wrestlers are really good. So what's happened is a lot of countries seem to have Russian wrestlers competing, and I don't know how many of them are there and what they are up to, because so many of them have shifted countries, which is making the qualifiers tougher still. Now, if I look at, we have all six men going in freestyle. So six male category, all the weight categories we have men. But the category which is probably the best for us is 57, Aman Sehrawat. Aman Sehrawat in 57 is a world-class wrestler. 2022 under 23, he was the gold medalist. So you can say that he's a world-class wrestler. Asian Championship, he was a gold medalist. Aman, for me, the only problem I see with Aman is he's not having the grounding that some of the others have. Sudden losses, like the loss that he had in the Asian qualifiers, it was a VSU loss 10-0 to Abdullah. So he loses suddenly, really badly, which shows his inexperience, if you ask me. So he's a great wrestler, but slightly inexperienced. I don't know how he'll do, but I have hopes. He's probably one of our best wrestlers in terms of men freestyle. The other wrestler whom again I can hold some hopes for is 86 kgs, Deepak Punia, who was so unfortunate not to participate. He's a world silver medalist, so he has the credentials, and the guy is a powerhouse. In fact, to some extent, if you see him wrestling, he wrestles like a Greco-Roman wrestler in freestyle. He doesn't
Yes.
have fast movements, but he's immense body strength.
Yes.
So he, wrestles on the strength. He's a wrestler who's difficult to topple at any stage in the competition. He's like a rock. He's been right from the cadets. I've been following Deepak right from the cadets, a gold medalist in cadets, gold medalist in juniors. He came on to the senior level and he has done a lot of things. Asian games, he was a silver medalist for us this Asian games. At the world championship, he was a silver medalist way back in 2019. So 5 years back, he was a silver medalist in the world championships. He's got class. He's got a lot of class, a lot of experience. If you ask me the person who's most likely to make it, I would like to bet on Deepak Punia. These two people, I think, have a chance, but with the Russian wrestlers and so many wrestlers still there in the competition, difficult to say. Women wrestlers, if I go to, we are wrestling only in two categories, 62 and 68. 62 category for me was Sonam Malik's weight class. She was an outstanding wrestler. She was injured in the trials, so she's not there. So we have Mansi, good wrestler, but not the class of Sonam. She's a under 23 bronze medalist, decent wrestler. We can't say women is a little easier always than men, so competition will be a bit less. I doubt it, but I have hopes on Nisha Dahiya. Nisha Dahiya, 68 category weightlifter for me is a hidden gem. Now, if you go back to I think 2021, 2022, sorry. 2022, she was almost winning a medal. She was in the semi-final bout. She was 4-2 ahead with just about 60 seconds to go. 4-2 ahead against Ishii of Japan, who's a very good wrestler herself. So to be 4-2 ahead itself is a good achievement. And there was just about 40 seconds on the clock. She got badly injured. And then she lost the bout. Otherwise, she would have been a medalist herself in the World Championships. So she lost the semi-final, and then because she was badly injured, she again lost against the Canadian in the uh, bronze medal bout. But I think she's a really classy wrestler, unrecognized to a large extent. Under 23 bronze medalist as well. I really think I really like her in the wrestling amongst the wrestlers. So if you ask me, three wrestlers to keep an eye out: Aman, 57, Deepak, 86 in the freestyles, men. In the women freestyle, Nisha Dahiya, 68. Um, Greco for me is I mean, I would be shocked if anybody makes it through. I hope so. I always have hopes, but Sunil Kumar is probably the only even remotely good wrestler. I mean, we have had some wrestlers like Sumit Dalal in 60 kg category who's are under 23 bronze medalists, but to be honest, we are nowhere in, and we have been losing very badly also, to be honest.
Yes. Yes.
Played. I don't know if you saw the bouts for Asian qualifiers. We lost every bout, first round, except
I think one guy was in the finals.
yeah, Sunil won.
Some guy.
Sunil
Yeah.
Kumar, 87. He won the thing, but went to the quarterfinals. He's the only decent guy. To win a bronze medal in the Asian is good enough. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Okay. So 7 wrestlers we had qualified in 2020 Olympics, but I know this is a mess. So still, we are qualifying 6-7 is very decent.
6-7, I don't have hopes,
Okay.
Siddharth. I think 4 we have qualified. Maybe 1, 2,
Okay.
definitely not 3. 3 is the maximum according to me.
Okay.
Out
5.
of the 3, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. I'm
Okay.
keeping this.
So this is obviously context, but as Nitin mentioned, we are actually progressing very well. So now the actual tournament itself. I mean, um, we have we have been meddling in wrestling since 2008. Uh, what happens in 2024? We have very good medal prospects in other sports. Obviously, wrestling has to play a part. So how do you think wrestling can contribute towards medals? Who is the real genuine medal contender? Who is the dark horse, do you think?
See, we are going in with surefire 4 women, hopefully 5. In the men, maximum, I would say freestyle 2. If we really, I mean, this is like for me, if we get this number of 7, I'll be like thrilled. But I'm hoping for 4 to 5 and 1 to 2. I hope it's not 0 in men's freestyle. So, given that, See, all of them have lost a lot of training, support. They're all going in without much support, to be honest. So they're not in the greatest of forms, none of them. But if you ask me, medal prospect, we cannot take our eye out of Vinesh because she
Okay.
has the class. I mean, see, in wrestling, its form is temporary. I mean, in any sport, we say that. But in wrestling, more than any other sport, the great wrestler is the great wrestler. And, the great wrestler will always remain a great wrestler. For me, Vinesh is a great wrestler. 2 times world championship medalist, Asian Games gold medalist. She is, I mean, for me, extremely very good wrestler. Problem is 50 is not a natural weight. If you saw, she got injured when she was wrestling in 50 in Rio, and
Yes.
she came out of that Olympics where she was again a medal contender.
Yes.
Uh, then I don't know what happened to her in 20. To be honest, I have no clue because she didn't wrestle as well as she should have. But all said and done, class, finish. Best chance, finish. 50, she just has to maintain her weight. In 50, actually, her height is very good for 50. The wrestlers are fairly shorter. So she actually will do well in 50. I feel better than 53, where the wrestlers are a little taller as well. So she'll have a very good height advantage. I think if she just keeps up her she's not she's mentally very hazy kind of a wrestler, but I think she is determined. She has a lot of grit. I would love to see her win a medal. Um, Other than that, Anshu Malik has won a silver medal, but she's again got some injuries, etc. I would say kind of, can't say kind of situation. But Antim, again, she's in the last World Championship, which is like a much tougher than an Olympics, actually, a World Championship, because you have more wrestlers. And all of them were there because it was the Olympic qualifier.
I
She
think
won a,
she beat Olympic champion as well, if I'm not wrong. I think Maria Stadnik, she beat
yes,
someone.
I think she bet. Yeah, I think she bet. Yeah,
So,
very, very effective wrestler.
mm,
I think, and extremely good. So
mm,
for me, it's Vinesh, who's the what I would say the true class champion, and Antim, who is the young, extremely good person. These two are the best. Anshu has a chance, obviously. I can't say how well she will do, but she is a medalist in the World Championship. So again, is a player. And she didn't participate, I think, in the 2023 because she was injured. So I think she has a chance. She's good. Ritika for me was a revelation.
okay.
By the way, I don't know if any of you saw the under 23 gold final. She was against Blades, who is the 72 class wrestler uh, in from US. In fact, she's now in the US team. So US women wrestler high weight category always very very good. So she is kind of coming into this category now. Both of them. Uh, Ritika is again. I really like the way she wrestles. Very very strong. Um, Powerhouse actually. I think she will have a chance in the 76.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, Nisha Dahiya, as I said, is a good wrestler, and but she has to first even qualify. Deepak Punia again amongst the men is for me the best chance in 86. Very very good wrestler. He and I mean, Deepak Punia is a man of great fortune and bad fortune also. Sometimes I find he gets lovely draws where he, sweeps through and gets medals. But, we saw recently in the Asian qualifier, he had the bad luck also. So if he's lucky, Aman, I can't say. First, let him qualify.
Okay.
So I would say
So,
2, 3 wrestlers having a chance. I hope at least one medal, if not two.
good thing what I see in this Olympics compared to the last, I see very less hype. We have entered May. Last time in 2021 Olympics, even though, yeah, we had it was the peak of COVID and all that, we had a lot of hype, for Indian among the Indian media for the Olympics that we'll win at least 10 medals. I think, in my opinion, we had underperformed because shooting hadn't done well, and there were we could have won more medals in uh, we could have won more medals in wrestling. But yeah, this time I see there's not much hype, which I think is good. Also, I don't know how we could see this fiasco, the federation fiasco, as good or bad. I mean, at least for now, it has stabilized. and whoever the athletes who is going to represent a country should focus on the training part itself, not get involved in that. I mean, at least there is a federation, they're doing some things, and I think our sports ministry will also intervene in terms of any training required and all that. So I think the federation will not be involved if any of the wrestlers do need any, let's say, they want to go into competitions or training abroad, coaches and all that. Uh, so I guess I'm pretty enthusiastic about the Olympics, even about the wrestlers. And lastly, when we sign off, what is, I mean, you have mentioned, I mean, what is your dream for the Olympics? I mean, and I know you have been watching the Olympics for a long time. What are you expecting this Olympics with respect to as a Olympics as a whole, as a sports enthusiast, as an Indian contingent as a whole, and as a wrestling? Yeah.
No, I like to restrict my observations for shortage of time to our Indian contingent. See, I'm a
Okay.
passionate follower of Indian Olympics. Um, I think my hopes, my dreams, of course, that we could go into double figures. Of
Mm.
course, that we go into the top 25 or 30, if not 25. Highest we have been in is 48 in the last one. So we should try to come to the top 25, which if we get 2 or 3 gold medals, we can do it. So if we can come in the top 25 nations for a country like India, that would be a huge, huge achievement and would, kind of propel us forward further. Um, in terms of individual sports, difficult to comment. Shooting is currently at its peak. We
Yes.
have had 21 qualifiers, which is like just second behind China, but shooting has been our kind of, what should I say, the favorite, killing of
Oh,
hope sport for us in both the previous Olympics, where these guys were so good and still lost, sort of, etc. I couldn't imagine that we won't get a medal in 2020. But yeah, okay, whatever. But I'm hoping this time shooting really does well. Archery for the first time. I mean, not for the first time. Right from 2012 when Deepak Kumari was debuting, and I was writing in Totally Olympics that the biggest chance for us this Olympics would be Deepak Kumari in 2012. Till now, we have not got any medal in archery. I really think archery is a sport where we have tremendous potential. We should medal. So if we can medal in archery and do well in shooting, the whole of Indian contingent will do well because the rest of the sports will take and will take us past 10. But they both have to perform for us to go past 10. Otherwise, we'll be somewhere close to where we were or even a little lower, if anything.
okay. So actually, the slogan uh, is slowly resonating among in passionate sports fans is "Ab ki baar 10 par,"
That's
which means "Ab ki baar 10 medals at least." So we have the one most, which is 7, which was last time in 2020 Olympics. So this was a very good discussion. We had Nitin, who is very passionate and gave a valuable insights about wrestling, and he gave his very good opinion as well as to how India is progressing. And I mean, very I was astounded about the origins of wrestling as well. I didn't know so many of the facts as well. So viewers, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'd like to thank Nitin to have this wonderful chat with us.
Thank you.
And we'll do this more often. So
Deepest thing is please support our athletes, all our players, but
yes,
our wrestlers need our heart and hope more than everybody else. So please support them. They need it.
yes. So whatever your viewers, whatever your political leanings be, so whoever our athletes are going to be there, I mean, they represent the country India. So just leave your biases, your opinions on the side for the time being, and we'll not about support the wrestlers. And any Indian athlete who is representing the nation is worthy of support. So I thank the viewers for watching this. I thank Nitin again for coming and having this wonderful chat and sharing his wonderful insights. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you.